Keith here, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about battery chargers. And this one that we bought is phenomenal. It's not your standard battery charger. It is a computerized machine. This thing will diagnose your battery, figure out what it needs, and then slowly put a charge in it and repair the battery if it can be repaired or restored. And I'll tell you, we tested it on a frozen battery that was in our welder. You can see the bulge and stuff in the thing. And I thought, there's no way. This thing brought it back. It's a fully charged battery now. Works. We've run some tests on it. We've started some vehicles. I've done a couple load tests on it. And it's holding its own. This thing is amazing. It was $200 and I want to say $30 or $40. There'll be links in the bottom from Amazon where I bought it. And I'll show you a little bit what this stuff comes with, and then I'll talk a little bit more about the charger. Now, with this charger, as you can see here, it is a Noco Genius charging system. This one here will actually charge 4 batteries at a time. It comes with these 25, I would say it's about a 12 to 15 foot extension cord. So if you have it mounted on the wall, you can extend it over to where your batteries are. It also comes with 2 of these cords. Now these cords just plug right into the extension cord. And you can see here they got a little boot and they plug right in. So in the package when you buy it, you get 2 of these, and then you also get 2 exact same plugins. That's a nice thing I like about these guys. Everything is interchangeable. And you can buy different sizes of these. This is the biggest one you can have for 4 batteries. But you can buy different sizes, but everything is interchangeable. And then you get 2 alligator clips that have the exact same plug-in. All of them have a fusible link inside. So in case something goes wrong with your battery, it'll blow this before wrecking the wires or wrecking the charger. This thing is extremely smart. I watched a bunch of videos on it before I bought it. We have nothing but problems with batteries. I probably replace 4 batteries a year, and we're talking like full-size car batteries, stuff like that. I'll bring you a little closer and show you a little bit more of the settings on this. If you have an issue with the battery, I would say 80% of the time this one's going to fix it. We've had some batteries on here, and from what some of the specs that I read, this thing could take up to 4 days to correct the battery. And we've had some batteries that took up to 3 days, and then they're fully charged. And I don't know if you can see with the lights here, this one's just about fully charged. Bank 3 now is fully charged, and Bank 3 is a battery that Mike pulled out of his diesel truck. And we think it might have been froze. We're not 100% sure on that one, but the one that was in the welder was froze. You can see the bulge in the side. I was actually expecting it to have no liquid in the cells, but we topped them all up and hooked this charger on. I believe it was 3 days, and it brought it back to charge, which was just amazing for me. There also with this thing here is it will also be a maintainer. So if you have batteries sitting on your shelf and they're hooked up, it'll keep them maintained. So if they drop for any reason, it'll bring it back up to where it needs to be. And we also have a portable one. I'll show you that one here in a bit. That we use to, like, say if it's on the dump trailer, I can bring the dump trailer up, hook it up and plug it in and leave it there overnight, and it'll bring those batteries up. Or we got an old tractor. I'll show you that in another video. That one's going to sit in the shop, and we mounted magnets to it, because you know I love magnets, but we mounted magnets to it so we could just stick it on the hood. It'll have a set of wires like this that are tied into the battery all the time. and this cord will just stick out of the hood somewhere, so we can just plug it in and we don't have to take the battery cover off or anything, and then it'll just maintain the battery when we're not using it. So that is great. So I'm going to take you off the tripod. I'm going to bring you a little closer and kind of show you some of the settings. This thing will also do, it also goes lithium, 6 volt, 12 volt, and also 12 volt lithium. Won't do 6 volt lithium, but it'll do 12 volt lithium, 6 volt batteries, and 12 volt batteries. This one here will not do the 24 volt. That's a totally another machine, but these guys make it, and I'm just amazed. Like with this product, it's got to be phenomenal. So I'm going to take you a little closer up and show you here. I'm going to take you off the tripod, and I'll show you a little closer of this thing and kind of talk a little more about it. But well worth the money. And I'll show you a little bit about how we have our new charging station set up also. So stay tuned, guys. I'll be right back. Okay, guys. So like this has modes. Right now it's showing that it's on a 12 volt cycle. As it starts ramping up, you'll see where the battery's at in position. This one here has been on for, I think we put it on last night. So this is actually Mike's RV battery that came out of his RV. He was having some issues with it this summer, and so I'm assuming this one here is restoring it. Okay, so something else, that if you accidentally hook the terminals up backwards, you'll get a little indicator light come on here saying there's something wrong. So it's pretty much idiot proof. You can't hook these posts up backwards, you know, and sometimes we're reaching into a dark spot and we think we got it on the positive, we don't. This will tell you whether or not you do. Now you can see, bend this down a little bit. You can see this one's unplugged. They got a nice little boot, so if you're not using it, you just cover it up. It shows this one's on, but there's nothing going on here because there's nothing plugged in, and it just knows that. There is a power button, so you can power the whole thing down if you want. Yeah, there's nothing. This thing is a phenomenal battery charger and maintainer. But it's super smart, so it knows if your battery has an issue. And like say you guys, you know, I've thrown batteries on a regular charger, we charge it all up, we throw it in the truck. A couple weeks later, the battery's low again, and we're trying to start, and we have to boost the truck and stuff like that. These old chargers don't know what the battery needs, and these new ones like this is like a built-in processor and computer inside that scans the battery first, figures out what it needs, and then gives it that attention to restore your battery back to as much as possible 100% from when you bought it. So I'm going to kind of show you, we built this battery stand here, and you can see all the batteries we got and the charger up there, and of course the time clock and, you know, time cards. But you can kind of see we built this here. We got a bunch of different batteries plugged in. We do have an older battery charger, and I got one of those big huge booster boxes in the other garage, in the other shop, and that one works phenomenal also. But it's just good for boosting and for putting a quick charge on a battery, where this thing here is to kind of restore the battery and bring it back to life. So guys, I hope you like this review. This charger is phenomenal. I would highly recommend it for anybody. It is just a really, really good battery charger. There'll be links below from Amazon. You can check out the specs. I'm going to have a little ticker probably at the bottom of the screen telling you a little bit more in depth on the charger itself. But yeah, this is something that my company bought. And I thought for you guys out there that have any issues or happen to have ATV batteries or lawnmower batteries or anything like this thing is smart. You hook the battery up, walk away, and it'll look after for you. So when you go to get it and put it back into your equipment, it'll be ready to go for spring or summer or winter, depending on what you're doing. I think this is something that probably every farmer out there should have. Anybody that's in construction, And anybody that's in any type of work where you need batteries, where you have multiple batteries. If you're a Joe homeowner and you only got a couple vehicles and stuff, this is probably overkill for you. But what you could use is you could use one of the single devices, and I'll have a picture up here for you. And they make many different levels of this type of charger, and for different applications. Like if you have some ATVs, they got smaller ones. If you're wanting a powerhouse where you can charge multiple batteries, this is the one you want. So thanks a lot, guys, for coming by. I appreciate it. I'd like to thank all my new and old subscribers, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks, guys.